Hi my friends, I hope you are well. Look at here, comparison. Comparison, comparative, cheaper, more expensive. Look at these examples. How shall we travel, by car or by train? Let's go by car, it's cheaper. It's cheaper. Don't go by train, it's more expensive. Cheaper and more expensive are comparative forms. After comparatives, we use than. It's cheaper to go by car than by train. Going by, going by train is more expensive than going by car. Look at here. The comparative form is er or more we use. For example, we use er for short words, one syllable. Syllable you know. For example, cheap, one syllable. Large, one syllable. But modern, two. Expensive, three. Cheap, cheaper. Large, larger. Fast, faster. Thin, thinner. We also use er for two-syllable words that end in y. For example, lucky, luckier. Easy, easier. Early, earlier. Pretty, prettier. First, compare these examples. For example, you are older than me. The exams was quite easy, easier than we expected. Can you walk a bit faster? I would like to have a bigger car. They are comparative. Last night I went to bed earlier than as usual or usual. We use more for longer words, two syllables or more. For example, more modern than, more serious than, more expensive than, more comfortable than. We use more for adverbs that end in ly. More slowly, more quietly, more seriously, more carefully. With adverbs, we use more. Also, more often, like this. You are more patient than me. The exam was quite difficult, more difficult than we expected. Can you walk a bit more slowly? I would like to have a more reliable car. I don't play tennis much these days. I used to play more often. Like this. You can use er or more with some two-syllable adjectives, especially. Quite. We can use quieter than or more quiet than. Clever. We can use cleverer than or more clever than. Narrow. We can use narrower than or more narrow than. Shallow. Simply. It's too noisy here. We can go somewhere quieter or more quiet. We can use both of them. These adjectives and adverbs have irregular comparative forms. Good, well, better. We use with comparative better. The garden looks better since you tidied it up. I know him well, probably better than anybody else. Bad, badly, worse. Is your headache better? No, it's worse. We did very badly in the exam, worse than we expected. Far, farther. It's a long walk from here to the station, farther than I thought. Farther. We can use like this. Look at here, there are exercises about these. For example, complete the sentences using a comparative form. It's too noisy here. Can we go somewhere quieter or more quiet we can use? It doesn't matter. And we can go on. 40 seconds. This coffee is very weak. I like a bit. How can we use? Second, stronger one, yes. Stronger. 3. The bottle was surprisingly big. I expected it to be smaller. 4. The bottle was surprisingly cheap. I expected it to be more expensive. 5. The weather is too cold in this country. I would like to live somewhere warmer, we can say, or hotter, we can say. 6. My job is a bit boring sometimes. I would like to do something, yes, more interesting. 7. I was surprised how easy it was to use the computer. I thought it would be closed. 8. Your work isn't very good. I'm sure you can do more difficult things. 9 part. Don't worry, the situation isn't so bad. It could be better. 10. I was surprised we got here so quickly. I expected the journey to take worse. If you want, you can go on the other one, okay? And you can send me it too. Yes. Look at here, the other part. Complete the sentences each time. Use the comparative form of one of the words in the list. Use them where necessary. We will use them. Big, crowded, easily, high, important, interested, peaceful, serious, simply, and thinly used in them. Yes, second part. Second point 3. And we can say, for example, I was feeling tired last night, so I went to bed earlier than usual. I would like to have a more reliable car. The one I have got keeps breaking down. 3. Unfortunately, her illness was more serious than we thought at first. 4. You look thinner, flat, you look thinner. Have you lost weight? Yes. 5. I want a bigger, of course. I want a bigger flat. We don't have enough space here. 6. He doesn't study very hard. He is more interested. interested in having a good time. 7. Health and happiness are more important, yes, more important than money, of course. 8. The instructions were very complicated. They could have been simpler. I think it's enough for this part, and we can go on the other. Okay, and the other part you can look at here, the last one, and I want to say this part. Read the situation and complete the sentence. Use a comparative. Yes, the journey takes 4 hours by car and 5 hours by train. So what can we say? Yes, it takes longer by train than by car. It takes longer by train than by car. 3. I went for a run. I ran 10 kilometers. They stopped after 8 kilometers. So, what can I say? I ran farther than them. And they, pardon. I ran farther than they. Yes. 4. Chris and Joe both did badly in the exam. Chris got 20, but Joe got only 15. So, what can we say? Joe did worse than Chris. Joe did worse than Chris in the test, we can say. 5. I expected my friend to arrive at about 4 o'clock. In fact, they arrived 2:30. So what can we say? My friends arrived earlier than I expected. My friends arrived earlier than I expected. 6. You can go by bus or by train. The buses run every 30 minutes. The trains run every hour. So what can we say? The buses run more often than the trains. The buses run more often than the trains, we can say. And second, we are very busy at work today. We aren't usually as busy as them. Okay, what can we say about the second part? We were busier than usual in the office today. Now, I think it's enough for this lesson. See you the next lesson. Bye bye.